Hi everyone. Today's agenda is creating a Lightning web component, and in that Lightning web component having a button. Now on click of that button, what I'm going to do is in the backend, I'm going to create a PDF form, pass some parameters into that PDF form from LWC of course, and then make that PDF downloadable, or you could say I would make that PDF get attached to that specific record from where I click that Lightning web component. So let's quickly begin. So first, what we are going to do is we are going to create a Lightning web component. So I'm going to create a new Lightning web component with the name create PDF LWC. I'll make it exposed, record page. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and let's deploy this. By the way, for people who don't know what tool am I using, there is another video that I've made on how can you create a Lightning web component without using a Visual Studio Code. So you can just go and refer to that video. So let's start with this one first. What I'm doing here is I'm creating a simple plain Lightning web component, and I'm just creating a Lightning button in it. Okay, and on click of that button, I'm calling this method called as save as PDF. Now, what am I doing in that button is first, before making this method and everything in JavaScript, let's create the Apex class that we are going to use in this Lightning web component. And even before that, hold on. Actually, first, let's create a Visual Force page that we are going to use. So let me go to my developer console, because here we will not be able to create a Visual Force page from Lightning Studio. So I'm going here and creating a Visual Force page, and I'm naming it as VF PDF page. Okay. And let's save it. Now, what I'm going to put in it is really simple. Apex output text. That is it that I'm going to put. And what I'm going to say is value equals VF property. Let me name it as VF property. Okay. And I'm just saving it. And so yeah, that's it basically that I'm displaying in my VF page. Secondly, what I'm going to do first, let me check the error that it is showing. Okay, maybe I haven't put the double quotes. Okay, I think because I've not yet created this, what do you say, the property, that is why we are getting this error. What we are going to do is first we'll create the controller. Okay. So let's quickly create a Apex class. I'll name it as PDF controller. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to create a public string df property. Okay. And the next thing that I'm going to do is create a constructor. Okay. In that constructor, what I'm going to do is I am going to get what value I get from the parameter of the Visual Force page. I'm going to take that. Okay, so we are able to save this Visual Force page. Now let's go to the Visual Force page and put a controller over here. Let's copy the name from here. And also we want to render it as PDF, right? Okay, so I'll explain you the entire thing once it is over. But till then, keep watching what I'm doing. So what I did is first I created a Apex class. In that Apex class, I've simply created a property called VF property. Use getter setter. It's a getter setter property. Sorry. Then I have used a constructor, and what am I doing is the parameters that we are passing from Visual Force page, we are getting it in the what do you say? The attribute that we have created in this class. So that is all that I'm doing over here. Then what I did is I created a Visual Force page. In that I have a controller. I have used this as its controller. And then what I'm saying is this current page that I am rendering, this VF page, I'm going to render it as PDF. And all I'm doing is I'm displaying the value that we have got in the constructor over here of that controller of the Visual Force page. So till now, I've only done this much. Now the main part here is when we'll be clicking on a button on Lightning component, right? We'll be calling a Apex class, which would, create this Visual Force page and render it as PDF and will save as an attachment into that record. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new Apex class, and I would say PDF LWC controller. Okay. Now in this, what I'm doing is, first of all, because we want to call it from our LWC component, that's why we need to make it Aura enabled. Now the next thing that we are going to do is Okay. And we'll take a parameter as well. Okay. Now over here is where we are going to do the actual logic building that we are doing. What needs to be done is we'll call page reference equals, and then the name of the page that I am going to render. So here, let me click on preview. Okay. Here also you can see the name, else whatever name you have used here, you can use that. But I want to copy paste the exact name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that page name, and I'm going to say this is the page that I need to call. Furthermore, what I'm going to do is, if you remember, in this, we were collecting the parameter that we were fetching from the VF page. So I need to pass that parameter initially to that VF page, right? That then is when I'll be able to fetch the value. So what I'm going to do next is, I am going to pass parameters in that. And what was the name of that parameter? VF property, right? So what I'm going to say is inside that VF property parameter, I am going to pass my account ID. Got it? So here, what exactly we have done? We have called this Visual Force page called VF underscore PDF underscore page. And in that page, I have just passed the property or the some value into the property. When we go to that Visual Force page, what happens is it first calls its controller. It comes in its controller and it sees that there is a constructor. So first of all, it runs that constructor, and in that constructor, there is this VF property. So whatever parameters we had passed from this class ultimately goes and sits within this property that we have created in the controller. And then because of that, and because I have made it get set, that is why when there is a value in this property, that value starts showing in this PDF page or the Visual Force page, because we have made it as output text and the value is whatever value we are getting from its controller. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to do is, so this way, see, the VF page will definitely get rendered. But my next task is that I want to also download this and store it as an attachment. So next, what I'm going to do is, first of all, on which object do I want to store? So I want to store it in account. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so here I have my account ready, right? Now I am going to create a attachment instance. Okay. And the name of that we'll name it as PDF document. Okay. The parent ID of it would be this account ID that we got, or I could even use acc.id. Okay. The next thing is body. This is where the main thing comes in, main picture comes in, right? Now what do I want is this page that I've created over here, for which I passed this parameter. I want that page to be attached as a attachment on this particular record. So what I'm going to say is this page dot get content as PDF. Okay. And we are going to save it. And then I don't want this attachment to be private. So I would say false. And then finally, I'm just going to insert the attachment. Okay. So that's it that I have done. Now, one more thing. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. So what we are going to do is we would return this attachment actually. So here I have my controller or the Apex class complete, the Aura enabled Apex class. Now the next step is I'm going to go into my Lightning Studio, and on the click of this button, I want to call that Apex class, right? So now the next thing that I want to do is I am going to import. Let me first go to its JS. Generate PDF from @Salesforce / Apex / the class name dot the method name. Okay, and let's save it. Now, what we're going to do next is we had this method which gets called on click of the button. So I'm going to make that method, and inside that, I'm going to imperatively call this method generate PDF. Okay, so I would say generate PDF, and inside that, we are going to pass the parameters. So what was the parameters? It were account ID. Okay, and for now, what I'm doing is I am passing a ID hard coded. If you want, you can get it. Like on the connected callback, you'll be able to get the ID. So you need not worry about that, but I'll show you that too. But first of all, let me send a hard coded ID for now. Okay. So if we get the result, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show a toast event. So I'll just say this dot dispatch event, show toast event success, PDF successfully generated with, or I would just show this much, and that's it. Okay, and variant is success. If not, dot catch error error variant would be error PDF not generated. Okay, and just let's save it. So for now, what I've done is I'll give you an entire picture of this now. I've created a Lightning Web component. In that Lightning Web component, I have a button called as Save as PDF. On click of that button, this method gets called in the JS. In that method, I've imperatively called this method of the Apex called Generate PDF, in which I'm passing the account ID. For now, I have hard coded this, but I will show you this same demo with the ID that we have picked from the record page. And then if in the result we get something like if the attachment is properly created, we would get the result. And then all we are doing is showing a toast message. If not, then we are showing a toast message with error. And if we do, then we are showing a toast message with success. Now, the class that we have called over here, in that class, what I'm doing is the class that I've called from LWC, in that class, what I'm doing is I'm calling a Visual Force page, and in that Visual Force page, I'm passing a some value in a property of that Visual Force pages controller. Okay. And in the controller of the, this is the Visual Force page, by the way, I'm rendering it as PDF. When and in this Visual Force page, I've used a controller. So when this page gets rendered, this controller gets called. Now in this controller, what we are doing is we are getting the parameter which were passed to the PDF, the Visual Force page, and we are storing it in this property. Now next, this much portion is done. It, it renders the PDF page and all that. But then next thing what I am doing is I am just taking whatever content is there in that PDF page and I'm attaching it in an attachment object record. And I'm just inserting that record. That is it that I'm doing. So let me just save it. And I'm going to the object manager. I'll go to account object. I'll create a quick action. I'm going to say LWC component. And I am going to say okay, sorry, I had only selected the record page in that Lightning Web component because it is only exposed in the record page. So what I'm going to do is actually put the Lightning Web component over here and just say, okay, changes are saved now. Let me empty cache and hard reload. So now I see this save as PDF button. Let me quickly click on it. Okay, wait, there is an error. Let me look into it. Okay, so seems like the issue was that I forgot to import the show toast event from the Lightning platform show toast event. So I've done that and I've saved it. Now let's go to the UI and let's click on the save as PDF button. So it says PDF generated successful. So now what happens is the PDF got created and it got downloaded and attached as attachment. So here you can see we have that PDF document. Now let me also open that PDF document. And you see, I have sent the ID successfully. So that was about it. We were able to generate a PDF and attach it as an attachment on a specific record ID. Although we have hard coded the ID, what you could do is you could use @API and get the current record's record ID and pass that record ID into your Visual Force page and then do your processing as needed. But this is how you will be able to do this. And if this video helped, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.